What's up guys, 11 Collection, and the review of the Marvel Legends Abomination BAF wave. Abomination. Finally got all the figures, reviewed and everything. So now let's get into the review of the actual Build-A-Figure. Okay, so let's build it. So I'm going to grab this piece, attach this piece on the front, just like that. Make sure it's all clipped in properly. And then give the legs next. There we go. You want to make sure you have this little claw thing on the inside, and then arms. Oh, that does not want to go in. There you go. There we go. And finally, the head. Here he is fully built, and this is an absolute beast of a figure. It is massive. I'll just get like a regular Hydra soldier. I mean, this figure is massive. I mean, video doesn't really do it justice. It is just a really massive figure, much bigger than even the Hulk figure, as you'll see in the comparison later. It's amazing. Yeah, so this is really good likeness of the character from the video game. Because if you haven't played the game, you'll know, but Abomination does show up during the game multiple times. I think it's twice. So yeah, there he is, looking really nice. Detail is great. Just look at this figure. Close on the head, looking really nice. Got all the the bones all over it. Really cool. The design kind of reminds me of a kind of ogre or an orc from that sort of stuff, but really cool. Also kind of reminds me of the MCU design as well. Well, obviously the MCU design was even more spiky, and it was like what would you call that, tan colour? It wasn't green. But yeah, really nice figure with the detail and everything. Looks great. The arms and everything. These aren't painted, which is bit of annoying, but it's not too problem. But then obviously the fingers aren't painted either, and that is a bit more irritating. But it would have been really nice to get these painted, same colour as like the teeth and all the spikes. Yeah, that would have been great, but it probably would have been quite expensive and everything. So just look, the shorts, pretty decent. Sculpted detail. Look at the belt split and everything. It would have been nice to get maybe a bit of silver paint on the clip, but not a massive problem. I get this little design on here showing kind of like, I don't know what you call them, I guess, tactical, like trousers, whatever he was wearing when he turned into the Abomination. But yeah, also with the toes, it would have been nice to get paint on the nails and everything, but you do get paint there, which is nice attention to detail. Get on the arms, but yeah, you also get it under there, which is nice. But yeah, with these arms, it doesn't quite line up, as you'll see. Doesn't carry on, it kind of turns to the sides here. You kind of have to have it like that if you want it to look straight, but then that doesn't quite work. So that's a bit annoying, but not a massive problem. Yeah, really nice to have that detail inside the hands. On the back, all these spikes are made of like soft rubber, so you're not going to stab yourself while holding it or anything. And they look nice or painted. This is a bit irritating, the massive difference in colour underneath the spikes, but yeah, live with it. See those butterfly joints there. The back. Yeah, overall, I really like this figure. Really glad that they had this as the Build-A-Figure, and not like they had the Hulk or something. Because they did release the Hulk as a separate figure. Well, it was the Outback Hulk. Still would have been nice to get the green Hulk from the game, but it's probably just too similar to MCU Hulk, so they decided to release the the Outback version, which I'll show in the comparison in a bit. Now onto the articulation. Head moves up that far, down that far, moves side to side, it tilts and you can spin all the way around. It's got that double hinge. Yeah, so see it's got a ball joint in there and the ball up here. So you get some decent poses with that. Arms move up that far. Check pose like down that far, all the way around like that. You do get the butterfly joint in there, as you can see from the back. So that's nice, great for posing. Bicep swivel there. Then you also get swivel here because it's single jointed elbow bent that far and that far. You get the wrist swivel and the wrist hinge, which is great for sort of poses and everything. This hand as well, looking great. Like abs, you get full ab swivel and everything. Crunches forward that far and backwards quite far. You get a swivel. Do you get a swivel at the waist? I can't really tell. No, I don't think you do, even though there's a break there. But yeah. Anyway, legs come out that far, which is very good. Forward that far, backwards that far. Get a swivel at the thigh, double joint at the knee, and then you get the feet, you get the pivot, and you get forward, back that far, and forward that far. So articulation on this figure is pretty great. Pretty similar to the Hulk figure. Well, the Hulk figure had slightly better articulation because it's a bit annoying that the shoulders only move up that high, but it's not too much of a massive deal. Articulation is pretty good though, overall. So here he is next to a regular 6-inch Marvel Legends. As you can see, he's very tall, much bigger than the figure. Sorry about that noise, I was just moving the camera. Yeah, that's, he's a massive figure. That's just a regular 6-inch Marvel Legend, you can see Hydra Soldier there as well. Yeah, well, the camera doesn't quite do it justice, but if you hold these two figures like in your hands, this one feels so much smaller than this one, which is game accurate. It's not even properly game accurate. In the game, Hulk actually, like, his head lines up to about here, and the Abomination character is just massive in the game, much bigger than the Hulk. But here they're about the same height. He's just a bit taller than the Hulk. Yeah, he's a bit taller, not like ridiculously taller though, like he's in the game. But yeah, the camera doesn't quite do it justice, but he is so much like bulkier in terms of width and everything. So that is nice to see the sort of accuracy. Can't wait to get some poses of them fighting. Yeah, this is the one from the same game, by the way. This is the Outback skin that you can get in the game and everything. So yeah, now I'm going to do a comparison of all of the Gameverse figures, and then like from the Avengers game, not just all of them in general, obviously. And then I'll do one from the whole wave. So here is all the Avengers Gameverse figures, except for the, well, obviously, except, but like, I mean the characters. Obviously, I'm missing the spacesuit Iron Man, which is just a different colour of this, and obviously the original Captain America, which again is just a different colour of this. But in terms of the figures, I've got all of them as far as I remember, other than obviously just the repaints. But yeah, looks pretty nice as a whole wave. Obviously, we never got a Thor figure. We never got Hawkeye. What's her name? Hawkeye's like prodigy. I forgot her name now. Is it Claire something? I don't know, but it's just the female Hawkeye. And the Spider-Man DLC as well, which is coming out soon. But yeah, this is basically all the characters we got. We've got Captain America, Iron Man, Ms. Marvel, Hulk, and Abomination. They look pretty good, all in a group. Very game accurate, as like in terms of each individual figure. Least one would be obviously Ms. Marvel. She's not super game accurate with the face sculpt, but in terms of the rest of them, they're all pretty game accurate. Yeah, they look pretty nice all in a group. In terms of my favourites, I would say my favourite Abomination, then Hulk, then probably Atmosphere Iron Man, then Captain America, and then regular Iron Man, and then Ms. Marvel, in that order. In descending order, obviously. And here is the Abomination BAF wave as a whole. Looks pretty good. Obviously they're not all, suited together. Obviously, these three are Gameverse, and then the other four are just comic figures. But yeah, I like the wave as a whole. A few figures I wish they had like changed up something else. Obviously, in an ideal world, I'd have Thor, Hawkeye, etc. from the game, and have like a whole Gameverse wave. But obviously, that's not gonna happen. Technically, there was also a Captain America in this wave, but he didn't come with a Build-A-Figure piece, and he was a blue and if you've seen that figure, you'll know the paint on like all of these sections and stuff was just terrible. It was just not a great figure, so I decided to never get it. I'd never spend, if I saw that figure for a £5, I wouldn't buy it. It's just not a great figure. The stealth suit is so much better. But yeah, as a whole, I like this wave. In terms of favourites, I'd obviously say Abomination is my favourite. Then second favourite would probably be Rage. And then after that, maybe Leader or Iron Man. Probably Leader, then Iron Man, then Marvel, then Ms. Marvel, and then Mach 1. Mainly because, well, I put Mach 1 last because not great fun for posing around, getting the hands and everything make it look a bit odd. I'm just not a huge fan of that figure. And then I put her before because the face sculpt's not great, the figure's really hard to pose, it's not weighted right. Whenever you pose it, the legs always look a bit odd. Then Marvel because while he looks like he'd be like great fun to pose, he's not super great fun to pose. It's just I just had a bit of a hard time finding great poses with him. Iron Man, same thing. Posing was just bad. A lot of them things to do with the design of the character, not exactly the figure itself. But I thought the pose would look good, and I take a picture and I think, it just doesn't look good at all. So yeah, that's why. And then Leader, getting up here. Leader, I like this figure. It's nice to have a Leader in the collection. The figure itself is great, nothing wrong with it. It's just the fact that as he's more of an intellectual villain, so as a figure it's hard to get him into any poses because he just stands there and talks most of the time, so that's why. And then Rage, I really like that Rage figure. I'll bring closer. I had so much fun posing around. Nice bulky figure, great for posing. Had him easy standing up, everything. Great figure, but obviously you couldn't beat out that Abomination figure. That is one of my favourite figures of all time. I really like it. So yeah, that's my review of the wave. So that's it for this review. Sorry this review's taken so long to put out. I've been so busy, I haven't had time to finish it. But that's the end of the Abomination BAF wave, as you can see, as the Abomination. But my next wave will be the Venom Pool BAF wave. So stay tuned for that, coming very soon.